Hi everyone, for years I wondered, why do 3ds Max and Blender have great floor generator plugins, but Cinema 4D doesn't? Sure, a few exist, the free ones are, well, free. The paid ones, not worth pirating. But now, no need for torrents. This one's good and free, and we'll come back to that. Here's how it works. Draw a spline. Run the MP floor generator script from extensions user scripts. If your spline looks like a messy abomination, as mine does here, just hit Fix My Spline. This will automatically flatten your spline to a horizontal plane and close it. Then say a prayer to chaos and pick your pattern. Select the result that emerged from the sacrifice of your spline to the gods of parquet, and you'll see all the familiar settings you'd expect from a floor generator: plank size, rotation, offset, height, bevel. And what's good about it? Everything under the hood is right here in the Object Manager. The whole logic is built in Xpresso, and you have full access to all that spaghetti. And yes, this time I can proudly say that every bug in this setup was handcrafted by yours truly. Open up the hierarchy, and you'll see your original spline is still there. Slightly digested, but functional. You might want to search for it, so here's a tip. Name it something easily memorable, like Vladislav. Select Vladislav's points, move them around, and bam! Your floor updates in real time. So we've got laminate planks, like you had in your childhood bedroom. You can bring randomization to 0, shrink planks a bit, and get neat brick tiling. Let's rotate it 90 degrees, select its fracture thing, and add some effectors to add imperfections. Yeah, I should have had the fracture selected, but whatever, I just throw a random effector on it now. So yes, now it looks more or less okay. Let's copy our spline and take a look at what else we've got here. Like, for example, this mosaic parquet, like I had in my childhood apartment in the 1990s. Similarly to planks, we can change length and rotate it. Also, by changing subplank's quantity, you can easily turn it into sidewalk tiles. Or wall tiles, like the ones you'd see in public restrooms. Let's copy our hero spline again and set the mosaic aside. Meet herringbone, we can scale it, rotate it, adjust spacing, similarly to the other patterns. Let's zoom in and see what its bevel looks like. Let's copy this guy again. Chevron undoes everything the previous patterns can, as we can see, plus you can tweak its angle. I limited it to 70 degrees for sanity reasons. But if you've got enough recklessness and bravery, go ahead and lift the restriction. Let's do it in Data Manager and try 80 degrees. 90 degrees? Okay, while IT department is rebooting my machine, let's ask why no one made such a plugin for Cinema 4D sooner. I used to think it's because Cinema is almost Houdini. Procedural parquet should be easy, right? But in practice, floors in Cinema 4D hit a wall, booleans are slow, and MoGraph setups aren't exactly elegant. Turns out, people just forgot about spline mask, which is way faster. That's also why I didn't bother with a hex tile preset. It's easier to build it yourself. Here's how. Create a hexagon spline with the radius you want, drop it into a cloner, switch to honeycomb mode. Set the desired count of tiles. Your width and height size should be equal to a bounding box size of a hexagon. Create a floor outline, say a circle, and drop the cloner into a connect object. Now we're ready to put both of them into a spline mask. Let's choose the XZ plane and set the mode to AND. Great, it worked. Let's slightly reduce the hexagon radius to create the gaps. Put the result in an extrude, then the extrude into a fracture. Let's add some effectors to randomize the textures, and we're done. Honestly, I don't think that hexagon pattern needs automation. It's practically built into Cinema. But hey, if you want to wire it into my rig, go ahead. All the guts are exposed. Let's talk about the texturing process and set up a real floor in this quick interior scene I built for the video. Let's select our floor spline and choose the herringbone pattern. I want to rotate it 90 degrees and adjust its size a bit. For the fishbone pattern, we have two fracture objects. One for each texture tag, each rotated at plus 45 degrees and minus 45 degrees. Let's grab this great maple wood material from the Cinema 4D Asset Browser into the Material Manager. Let's drop it onto the first fracture object, set the texture tag's projection to cubic, and give it a 45 degrees rotation. Then just copy the texture tag over to the mirrored fracture and rotate it to negative 45 degrees. Let's hit the render preview and see what we've got. Seems like it needs a touch of randomness. Notice the black and white variation from the plane effector. We use that to give each plank a slightly different color and offset. Add a color user data node, set it to MoGraph, and connect it to the UV offset of your texture. Yeah, honestly, I'm thinking about how to automate this process in future versions. Now let's use a color range to tweak the diffuse color, and also we can use it to randomize roughness. Let's connect it to both the diffuse and roughness color multiplier ports. Changing range. And that's what we see on our render. Randomness is now visible. Let's play with the range a bit more. And that's it. That was a demonstration of what my free script can do. As I said, you can download it on Gumroad for free. The link is in the description. Remember, similar plugins for other apps can cost dozens of euros. Of course, since Gumroad kindly allows it, you can choose to pay whatever amount you want, if you really feel like saying thanks or sponsoring me a little bit. Thanks for watching my video, and have a great day.